Picture this. It's 2560 BCE. The banks of the Nile River teem with life as tens of thousands of workers toil under the Egyptian sun. Before them rises what will become one of the most enduring mysteries of human civilization, the Great Pyramid of Khufu. Standing at over 480 feet tall, this monument would remain the tallest man-made structure on Earth for nearly 4,000 years. But how did ancient Egyptians, without modern machinery, computers, or even the wheel for construction, create something so massive and precise that it continues to baffle engineers today? Join me as we journey back 4,500 years to uncover the secrets behind one of humanity's greatest achievements. The story begins with Pharaoh Khufu, the second ruler of Egypt's fourth dynasty. Like his father Sneferu before him, Khufu dreamed of immortality, not just in the afterlife, but through a monument that would stand forever. He commissioned what would become the largest of the three pyramids at Giza, a structure that would serve as his eternal resting place and a stairway to the heavens. The ancient Egyptians believed their pharaohs were living gods, and upon death they would ascend to join the sun, god Ra. The pyramid's shape itself held deep religious significance. Its sides were thought to represent the rays of the sun descending to earth, providing the deceased pharaoh a means to climb to the sky. But Khufu's vision required more than religious devotion. It demanded unprecedented organization, engineering genius, and the mobilization of an entire civilization's resources. Before a single stone could be cut, an army of architects, astronomers, and mathematicians went to work. The precision of the Great Pyramid is staggering. Its base is level to within just 2.1 centimeters, and its sides are aligned almost perfectly with the cardinal directions, deviating by only 3/60 of a single degree. How did they achieve this without magnetic compasses? Ancient Egyptian astronomers used the stars. By tracking the movement of certain stars and using simple tools like plumb bobs and right angles, they created a baseline that ran true north with astonishing accuracy. The site selection was equally crucial. Giza offered a stable, limestone plateau that could support millions of tons of stone, and it sat on the west bank of the Nile, the direction of the setting sun, associated with death and the afterlife in Egyptian belief. The proximity to the Nile was also practical, as the river would serve as the main highway for transporting materials. For centuries, Hollywood has perpetuated the myth that enslaved people built the pyramids, forced to labor under the whip. Modern archaeology has completely debunked this narrative. The pyramids were built by paid workers, skilled craftsmen, and seasonal laborers who worked in rotating shifts. Recent excavations have uncovered workers' villages near Giza, complete with bakeries, breweries, and medical facilities. Analysis of skeletons shows these workers received medical care, and they were buried with honor near the monuments they helped create. Graffiti found inside the pyramids reveals the names of work gangs, teams with names like Friends of Khufu or Drunkards of Menkaura, suggesting a sense of pride and camaraderie. Estimates suggest between 20,000 to 30,000 workers were involved at any given time. Many were farmers who worked on the pyramid during the Nile's flood season, when their fields were underwater and they couldn't farm. They were paid in food, bread, beer, meat, and vegetables, and their service was considered a form of national service, a way to honor their god-king. Now comes the million-dollar question. How did they actually build it? The Great Pyramid contains approximately 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing an average of 2.5 tons, with some granite blocks in the king's chamber weighing up to 80 tons. These stones had to be quarried, transported, and lifted with Bronze Age technology. The limestone for the pyramid's core came from nearby quarries at Giza. Workers used copper tools, wooden wedges, and dolerite pounders, balls of hard stone, to cut the blocks. They would chisel channels around a block, drive in wooden wedges, and then soak the wedges with water. As the wood expanded, it would crack the stone free. The finer white limestone casing stones came from Tura, across the Nile, while the massive granite blocks for the inner chambers were quarried at Aswan, over 500 miles south. During the annual flood season, these stones were loaded onto boats and floated down the Nile, then transferred to canals that led directly to the construction site. But moving multi-ton blocks on land was the real challenge. Recent experiments have shown that teams of workers likely wet the sand in front of wooden sledges, reducing friction dramatically. A crew of about 50 people could then pull a 2.5-ton block. Paintings in ancient tombs confirm that this method was used. As for lifting the stones, theories abound, but the most widely accepted involves a series of ramps. These might have been straight ramps, spiral ramps winding around the pyramid, or internal ramps within the structure itself. Each method has evidence and challenges, and the truth may involve a combination of techniques. The precision of stone placement is remarkable. The blocks fit together so tightly that you can't slip a piece of paper between them. This wasn't just for aesthetics, it was structural engineering. The pyramid's weight is distributed perfectly, with its center of gravity ensuring stability for millennia. The construction took approximately 20 years, a timeline that seems impossible given the scale. That means workers had to place roughly 300 blocks per day, or one block every 2 minutes during a 10-hour workday. This required an assembly line level of organization that wouldn't be seen again until the Industrial Revolution. The pyramid originally stood 481 feet tall, the equivalent of a modern 48-story building. Its base covers 13 acres, and you could fit the cathedrals of Florence, Milan, St. Peter's in Rome, and Westminster Abbey inside it with room to spare. When completed, the pyramid was covered in gleaming white limestone casing stones, polished to a brilliant shine. The capstone, or pyramidion, was likely covered in gold, or electrum, an alloy of gold and silver. On a bright day, the pyramid would have been visible for miles, shining like a beacon, a fitting monument for a god-king. Most of these casing stones were stripped away over the centuries, reused to build medieval Cairo, but a few remain near the pyramid's base, hinting at its former glory. The Great Pyramid of Khufu stands today as a testament to human ingenuity, organization, and ambition. It was built not by enslaved people driven by fear, but by a civilization at its peak, marshalling its resources and knowledge to create something eternal. For 3,800 years, it was the tallest structure in the world. It has survived earthquakes, tomb robbers, and the passage of empires. Napoleon's soldiers fired cannons at it. Countless treasure hunters have tunneled through it. Yet it endures. The ancient Greek historian Herodotus called it one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Of those 7 wonders, the Great Pyramid is the only one still standing, a 4,500-year-old reminder that human beings, working together with purpose and vision, can achieve the impossible.